What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back again today, almost wrapping up this series, but this is episode number 11. We'll have one more for you in episode 12, and then this series is complete. It's the Washington Redskins Madden 25 Playbook Breakdown Tutorial, and just kind of finishing things up. Like I mentioned, today we're going to check out some more plays in some pistol formations, two different formations that we did touch on back on episode 4, and some new plays that I kind of discovered or that started to work well for me, so I thought I'd bring you guys those. And the first one is going to be out of the pistol full house tight, and again in episode 4, the one play that we did focus on was the skins curls over here with the square option. And we'll just run it really quick. The two changes that we normally make, and I have to flip this, I apologize, but is we like to streak our outside receivers. So square and circle both get streaked, and then CJ Spiller, our running back, and I messed up here again, so let me flip it. CJ Spiller, our running back, is going to go into a wheel route, and I mainly run this play when I think my opponent is going to be blitzing, or when it's like a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, and I usually look for CJ Spiller. If he's not open like he was there, I dump it off to the fullback. And you can also kind of substitute this formation to have two halfbacks and then one tight end. It makes it just a little bit better receiving wise, but you see Spiller is wide open there. And this one normally works really well, like I said, when you think somebody's going to run commit or play the run really heavy. So let's get into two plays that I have not discussed on this, and they're both runs. They're both very basic. The first one is going to be the zone weak sift over here on the left-hand side. Again, just a very basic running play. And I don't know, if your guys block, you tend to be able to pick up a lot of yards and be able to get to the outside like you see Spiller did right there. And he's going to break in for a touchdown. And again, it's just nothing too complicated here. Again, good blocking downfield. Look at that nasty spin move by Spiller. And he's going to get tons of yards. So just play with it, run it and see what works for you. Sometimes you do have to cut inside if they kind of force it to the inside and you can't get there. You just cut it back inside. But again, nothing special. That time the DN did come out on him, and that's something that will sometimes happen. You can't win them all. We'll run it once more here, and that should have been a good block. CJ's still going to fight for a yard or two there. So that's that play. And then the other running play on this formation is very similar. It's actually still going to go to the same side, but we're going to run the halfback counter. And again, it's more of a get to the outside type play, and you just got to hope and pray that your guys do block for you. But when they do, it definitely provides a great opening to break for a long run. And I like the counter technique of it, where you kind of fake to the right and then go back left, and usually this picks up at least 5 yards. I haven't really been stuffed too many times on this. Sometimes you'll have to, oh my god, that spin was sick. Sometimes you'll have to bust it into the inside, just all depending on, what your blockers do for you, like the last two examples there. So again, the skins curl, we focused in depth on episode 4, so if you missed that one, go check it out. And then here are two other ones that you can run out of the same formation. Just like to keep the opponent guessing. Just keep running the same formation but different plays, and they will not know what's coming. It's an easy way to not, show your hand. So let's get into some plays out of the pistol weak formation coming up here. And again, in episode 4, we focused on this formation. There were two plays that we ran a lot of. It was the halfback zone weak and then the triple option. For time purposes, I'm not going to get into those two plays. So make sure again that you go check out episode 4, but there's 3 new plays that I want to run in this formation. The first one is going to be the halfback stretch sift, and this one works really well because your offense is kind of unbalanced. I don't know if that's the correct term I should be using, but your opponent pretty much is thinking that you're going to run to your left-hand side of the field. And it's nice to just switch it up on them and go to the right instead. Now, you got to be good at looking for running lanes in here, because this one is not always just going to be wide open. in situations like that, you're going to get stuffed. There's nothing you can do, but you got to know when to kind of cut it inside or take that outside route. Here, I'm going to cut inside because there was a huge opening there for me. But again, this is more so of a counter to the halfback zone weak play that I focused on in episode 4. And once you get guys run committing to your left, you can just run this play to the right. And if they happen to run commit to your left, it will leave a huge opening up. And here's one where we're going to be able to get to the outside. CJ is going to fumble there. So again, that's a really fun play, a way to counter it, getting to the outside, trying to make moves, and not having much success on that play. Test it out in practice mode, as I've always told you guys to do. Find out what you do well and what works for you well. The next one is, again, kind of a counter to the running plays in this formation, and there's nothing very complicated about that. It's just a screen play, and I like to run it when they start really run committing on this formation, and they really think that a run play is coming. I like to switch it up and hit them with the screen, so if they're run committing down the middle, this one opens up a ton of room, especially when your guys block for you like they just did for me there. So again, nothing too special. I told you guys at the beginning when I started this series that I wasn't going to give you guys these plays where you got to make 8,000 trillion adjustments. I mean, I'm not doing anything different. There's a really good example because they blitzed and brought the house, and it worked really good for me there. Probably made a bad decision trying to cut inside, but so there it is. And then the last play that we'll go over in this formation is a newly found pass play that works a lot for me, and it's the curls over here on the left hand side where square is. And our primary target is usually Chandler, the tight end. I do like to take your R1 or your main running back and put him in a wheel route, and I tend to block the triangle running back just because you need that extra protection. But Chandler is going to kind of fake to the outside and then cut back inside. And it's a nice route. You do want to make sure, now there it's wide open, so I'm just going to throw it because they blitzed. But you do want to make sure that you pass lead down if it's a tight coverage area. So in this case, I'm going to pass lead down, and he goes and just gets the ball. If you're not familiar what I mean when I say pass lead down, I mean you hold down your left stick and hold it towards the down area right as you're going to make your throw. This is a really bad pass. That was going to be a good example of how to fit it in a really tight window, but I just didn't come through there. But the pass lead down definitely enables you. Here's another really tight window, but see how I can just fit it in there with the pass lead down. A better tight end would have held on to the ball there, no doubt. And if you really want to get creative, I'll show you on the next play. We just had to give that one some time, and that's where that extra blocker comes in handy. But if you feel like your opponent's not giving you much pressure on the D-line, you can always put Jackson in an option route, and then I usually streak the outside receivers just to kind of clear space. But you can always hit your triangle running back on a play like that. That's only if you feel that you got enough time to get that type of pass off. If they're rushing you heavy, then you want to stay away from doing that because you're going to need that extra blocker. Here's another tight window. Pass lead down, he goes and gets it, and there it is. So I hope this one was helpful for you guys. We have one really quick play out of the split gun Redskins formation next episode, and then we're going to really focus on a bunch of plays in the shotgun tray open formation. So with that being said, I'm wrapping this one up. Make sure you guys do click that thumbs up. I certainly would appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next time. I am out. Peace.